what the Data Act actually does is it creates a single point of accountability and reporting and transparency for all of government spending. This is something that Senator Colburn and others have worked on for years. This brings it together with meaningful standards so that the data is truly interoperable for all its users. I think every American cares about eliminating waste in government spending, and more importantly, knowing that your dollars were spent wisely. We have an opportunity to do that with the Data Act. I think every person who pays taxes and cares about his government being responsible will support the Data Act.
One of the things that taxpayers want is they want to know that their tax dollars are spent effectively and efficiently. And here the Data Act provides one source database where they can go and find out how their dollars are being spent. All these things are very important, but information is power. And I believe that if you use the information you get, it becomes powerful. So I think this is important. Transparency is important because transparency leads to good government.
I think the Data Act is a giant leap forward for accountability and transparency. It takes all of the lessons we learned from recovery and, quite frankly, the recommendations the GAT board made to the president last December and rolls those into a piece of legislation. It standardizes data. It provides for the collection and display of data in a single platform. And it also creates the single platform for accountability. Now, concept, the Recovery Board allowed citizens to see their government tax dollars being spent in ways that they had never been able to see that before. People were able to drill down into their own zip codes and see the spending in their own neighborhoods. And then in terms of the accountability side of things, the fraud level for $840 billion was extraordinarily low. I think that has a lot to do with the transparency of this particular money. So expanding that to all of government, in my mind, is just a smart business decision.
The reason why the Data Act seems so important to me is that we've been flying blind. We have massive amounts of money flowing through the system and we don't know where it goes. And this is the beginning of creating the feedback loops that allow us to instrument government spending. And that's the way you begin to actually cut waste. We have a lot of people talking about waste, but we don't really have any way to even know what it is. Well, it's like, thank God, finally we're starting to apply technology that's been in use in the private sector for years to government. All the way back in the 1890s, John Wanamaker said, half of my advertising doesn't work. The problem is I don't know which half. And I think that's could equally well be applied to government. Half of our spending doesn't work. We just don't know which half. And we've got to actually solve the Wanamaker problem for government.